Hey everyone, how you doing today? My name's Kirsty, aka Beth Bookish, and if you're looking for an uncomplicated, easy to set up reading journal, this might be the perfect video for you. So grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back, relax, and enjoy this flip through of my 2024 reading journal setup. If you are new to the channel, hello and welcome to the chaos that is my brain trying to function. This is my 4th year doing a reading journal, and before I start I'm going to very quickly take you through some of the supplies that I've used. We have some washi tapes that I got from Amazon, we have my Posca markers that I can't live without. I've also got some Tombos. The ones that I used the most in this journal are N79, which is like a nice warm grey, N45 and N55, which are both kind of mid-clear, mid-greys. And then I do have one more, but I can't currently find it, and I don't want to hold my arm over a flame. Ow. Haha, found it. And N95, which is like a really pale, almost white grey. And then I also have a mild liner by Zebra. This is the gold colour and it's a brush pen. And accompanying us with our video today is one of my very own candles from my shop, which I will link below. I now have a winter and festive range out, so please go check that out. But the actual reading journal itself, every year I try to reevaluate what works for me, and then some years it's been really good, and then other years I have completely sucked at actually reevaluating and ended up with more spreads that I don't use. And yeah, I've done the same again this year. I've gone through and I've decided to take out some old ones, put some new ones in, and there's a few that are returning that haven't been around for a couple of years. So let's get into it, shall we? First of all, the cover page, and we have this beautiful spread from Tales and Tomes, who is a shop I bought from recently on Etsy. This was the thank you card that was sent with the order, and I just loved it so much I knew it had to become part of my journal. I also have all these little ghost stickers that you'll see sporadically throughout, which were from Shein. And then every year I have a feature sticker, and this year it is from Romantasy Designs. And I went with this nice little strip of washi tape just to add a bit more decor. Let's not have that go over an open flame, shall we? Wow, Kirsty. Moving on to my goals. This year I am doing things a little bit differently. I am going to be doing my usual novels, but I also have a secondary goal for manga, which I'll talk about very shortly. But the goal for my novels is 50 books, and as always I have it in this little grid that I colour in with this gold pen so that it will eventually appear like this, and I just love how it always looks and turns out. And then I have my goals, so very quick rundown. I will be doing a separate video talking about these in way more detail, but we have complete 5 series, 25 indie books, 200 hours of audiobooks, more LGBT, library and reading dates, 2024 releases, friend recommendations, DNFing, reading more and actually using my Scribd subscription instead of just letting it fester, read 4 sort of bigger books, and then on YouTube I have a bunch where it's like mostly about increasing subscribers, but also I have a Side Changeling read along, which I will link below if you are interested in joining. And there are plans to do a live every month and weekly reading vlogs again. And I also want to rejoin Skillshare and do some videos and courses on improving my vlogging skills, again accompanied by these super cute stickers. How adorable are these? Look at him, he's panicking because it's near the end of the year and he's not finished everything. This one's happy because they completed all of their goals. This one's just munching on a skull. And then we have this one that's kind of like, oh my god, we're trying to set goals and we have ADHD, what are you doing? And then we have these ones who are like, we're gay, we're happy, we're queer, we're just gonna have a good old time and dance under a rainbow. So I just love it. It's so cute. I love them. Moving on, we have our red shelves. So this is where I write down the titles of the books and then I colour them. I've gone with a different colour scheme this year. Normally my red shelves look more like this. It's fine, it works, but I wanted something that just felt a little bit warmer, a little bit more personal. I wanted to play around, especially as I had fewer books to put on the shelves. So I played around with like the title, playing around with my lettering a bit, adding little details to the shelves, going for this really cute night sky effect. I love how the moon came out. I'm just so proud of that. And yeah, I have different colours, so I'll have 3 categories as always. We have physical, ebook and audiobook. Physical book's going to be brown, this like browny yellow, ebook is sagey green, and audio is like this rose pink. And I just really like how that one came out. That one was fun. And then I also have a manga goal. So I've read about 60 manga this year. I want to increase that next year, and I've rediscovered an absolute love for manga. So I'm going for 100, and as you can see, these shells are way more what I would typically use. I haven't yet come up with a key. I'm not sure how I'm going to colour these and categorise them, but I am looking forward to trying to figure that out. I lie, I'm not looking forward to trying to figure it out, but I will figure it out. And then where I wanted to do indie reads, to make sure I try and stay on that target, I've included it as an actual spread. So whenever I read an indie book, I will just put the covers here and try and do 25 in the year. As always, we have the 5-star Hall of Fame. This is just where sometimes when I fill in my book bracket and the end of the year bracket, I only pick 1 book for every month, but sometimes there might be 3 or 4 books in a month that I've absolutely loved. So I like to have a little Hall of Fame. As you can see here, this is what my current one is looking like. Some of these were all in the same month, so it just means that all of my favourites get a chance to shine without necessarily being included in the Book of the Year bracket. Speaking of the Book of the Year bracket, we have the Book of the Year bracket. On one side, I put the months of the year. Most people, I think I've seen do them in monthly order, and they fill them in as they go. But I always like to jumble up my months just because it makes it a bit more fun and more unpredictable as to what the book of the year is going to be. And then eventually that leads to the book of the year. So I always print off the cover, and then I write down my rationales to why I chose that book and why it was my favourite. Next up, we have the first of the new spreads. This is one that I was inspired to do after watching Cassandra Lynn's video with her 2023 flip through. And this is a yearly overview reading tracker. So basically there is something else that I will be doing that I will talk about later on. When I do that, I will then transfer the information onto this reading tracker, and I will just fill in every day that I read. I'll just colour it in. Hopefully by the end of the year, I will be able to have a clear view on where I'm slumping and how long I tend to slump for. And hopefully it'll also motivate me. It could go one of 2 ways. It's either going to really motivate me to read and be more consistent with my reading, or it's going to cause me to have an existential crisis and completely give up because I'm too depressed to read because I'm failing. Who knows? This is also going to be partly a return, partly inspired. So the partly return bit are the monthly stats. For the first 2 years that I did a reading journal, I had a monthly stats page. In 2021, I had this spread, and I was looking at like audio, ebook, graphic novel, recommendations, arcs, and then wrote my pages. And I really liked the spread, but I was kind of like, am I really using it? Do I really care about this? And at the end of the day, I was like, not really. So I took it out. But then I've realised that I actually really do like having it, and it will help me, certainly with my goals, it will help me keep track without having to always log onto my computer and onto Corepile to check. So that's where the stats idea came from, but this layout and this quote box idea came from Tori between pages. I will link the video below. She did this layout with her chart, and I really liked the idea of it just being on that one page. And then she used this page here, which kind of looks like a post-it board, and I just really love all the different designs. She used it to track things like the sort of the season that she read the most in, number of pages she read in total, most read genre, etc. What I've done is I've decided to use it as a quote page, so when I see a quote that I absolutely love, I will make a note of that. Next up, we then have my most anticipated books. I'm not going to be doing a calendar of releases this year because I never use them, I never fill them, and I forget to check them. So I decided instead I'm just going to do what I normally do, which is make a note of the books that I am most anticipating reading that are going to be obviously released next year. So you can see here again, I did it in 2021, and if I read them, I coloured in the stars that I drew that I am very, very bad at drawing, and then I DNF'd a couple, and then the rest I just didn't read because, that's my life, I don't read. And so this year, because I'm very bad at drawing stars, I've bought these, which are from the Crafty Planning Company. Again, on Etsy, again, we'll link it below, and these are just pre-made stars that I stick on the page with the book cover, and then we'll colour them in as to my rating. And I really like how this one came out. Like with the text, I used 3 different colours to highlight the text. And I think the shadows look really, really cool. And I like all these little stickers. And I really like how this one came out. And I think it's very, very pretty. One of my favourite spreads is actually one of the most simplistic ones that I've done. So like I said, I won't be doing a calendar, but one thing I am definitely tracking next year, as every year, are my series, because I will be doing a video in January where I'm going to be talking about updates, because there's a lot of series that were on last year's tracker that I've taken off and I've decided to DNF. There are series that I've started this year, so I'll be doing a full breakdown of my series updates, but just to give you a sneak preview of what I do with my series, I have 3 colours. So black are ones that I read pre-2023, so sort of 2022. There's a few on there, like The Beholder, that I read that in 2019. Still have not yet read, but I still want to, because every now and again that book just comes back into my brain. Grey are the ones that I read in 2023, and then obviously as I read in 2024, they will be coloured in yellow. I really, really, really want there to be way more coloured in squares this year, next year, this year, in 2024 than there have been in the previous years, because if I show you my current one, it is terrible. I have not done the best. So, you know, we need to improve on that. And then moving on to the series tracker, one that I used to have, I then incorporated it into this tracker, but now I'm doing it separately again because obviously it's a focus for next year, is a manga one. I have a manga series. I just kind of played around with writing and this is how it came out, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. So we have manga series tracker, and then I've just picked out some of the series that I am currently either reading or rereading. So we have The Way of the House Husband, Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today, My Hero Academia, and then I just have various other ones that I either own or want to get through next year. And we then have another page because there's going to be a lot more. And then there are a bunch that I would normally include. So in previous years, I have like a pre-order spread, I have an ARCs spread, I have a calendar of readathons, and again, it's all stuff that I feel like makes me overwhelmed when it comes to filling the journal and gets me really down when I don't then use them properly. So I've decided to remove those. Again, they will be on a spreadsheet that I'm using next year to make my life a little bit more streamlined. And so all I've done now is just gone straight onto my yearly challenges. This first one is blank for a reason, because I haven't yet filled it in. So we have the 52 book clubs, 52 books in 52 weeks. They have announced it, I just haven't printed it and put it in, but I have prepped the actual books read log, and I have this little thing to match the scheme that they've gone for. And then as I read the book from the prompt, I'll write down what the book was, and then I have I did a little cutout page so that I can just do that, and I think it looks pretty. And then the next one is going to be Beat the Backlist by Austin Decker, but she hasn't yet released the prompts for that, and she said they won't come until December, which is kind of disappointing because obviously I like to get this video out very early in December. But I have saved some space for that, and that will have the bingo card and then the prompts here. And then we're on to the monthly, which I haven't finished setting up, so I'm just going to show you the cover and then quickly talk through a few of the things. I will be doing a full video of this as well. So we have January, and I've got some stuff on order from Oodalama Doodles that I really love, and there's going to be stickers here and here. But the big thing that I want to talk about is this little wallet. Again, this is what I got from Cassandra Lynn. And I have created this little bookmark thing. And basically on the flip side, we have the days of the month. And I will write down what books I read and how many pages I read or how many hours I listened to on audio. At least then it's just there. And I can also put this in the book that I'm currently reading to make the notes on. And then I can always flip back and go to my reading tracker and then fill it in. And that's where this is going to come in handy to help fill this. But like I said, I will be doing a full monthly flip through once it's fully set up, and just to talk you through how I'm going to be doing my monthlies from now on, because again, I've tried 2 different versions and 2 different ways of filling in the monthly and tracking my books monthly. And I'm kind of going to be combining the 2 moving forward. So I want to talk you through that. But that is my 2024 reading journal. Let me know in the comments if you are also going to be doing a reading journal, and if so, have you taken inspiration from anyone? Have you found spreads that do or even don't work for you? Do you have a book that you are most excited for next year? What is it? Who is it by? Is it a standalone? Is it a sequel? Is it, you know, a brand new debut author? I've got a few that I'm looking forward to. We have the finale of the Plated Prisoner series, which will be, I think, November time, and I am not going to survive, to be perfectly honest. We have the second book in the Sunbearer Trials, which again, very excited for. And we have various other ones that are on my radar, but honestly, off the top of my head, my brain is drawing a blank right now. I really hope that your reading year for 2023 has gone well, and I hope that it continues to go well, or does go well for you in 2024. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are going to join and subscribe, then welcome to the chaos that is my brain. I hope you're all good. I hope you're staying safe, and until next time, bye.